more of a proper introduction. Can't really look at the camera a whole lot, but I'm driving. Alright, we're coming back from Tijuana, Mexico. And it was probably one of the worst vacations I've ever had. Mostly because my lower back is hurting and I was coughing up blood and phlegm this morning, and I have been doing that for almost a month. And I've been on sick leave for a while. I'm ill every morning, unfortunately. But so I still decided to go on this trip anyway. I don't think that was a good idea. Some of the thoughts I was having that I wanted to get down and record it here are, you know, I want to call it running your gimmick, working your gimmick for professional wrestling. Because I came down here mostly in Mexico because I wanted to go to this luchador museum, which ended up really being really fun. That was the best of the trip, you know. But everybody's working their gimmick, as they call it in wrestling. You know, sometimes you're a lord of the undead, like the Undertaker. Sometimes you're an American hero, like Hulk Hogan. You know, and sometimes you're a dumpster, Duke the Dumpster Drozy or whatever. You know, some people have actual professions as their wrestling gimmick. But I want to expand that concept to working your gimmick to make money. And we came across a lot of people. We had a crooked cop, or you might want to call him a normal cop, you know, scam some money off us to bribe because it was a very minor, you know, parking issue. We got $20 American out of us, you know. That's just how it goes. And around the border, going past the people that were grifting on there, you know, they're selling food, they're selling blankets with the steakouts, you know, on and so on. They're selling culture, they're selling food. Of course, there's, you know, they got animals there, so you can try to give them, you know, more money. The people are very sympathetic for the animals. Kids in wheelchairs with, you know, visual kind of mental, physical disabilities, children, teenagers, good-looking, handsome people. They're selling, you know, all kinds of ways. There's all different kinds of people hustling at the border, not just the border, but everywhere in the city of Tijuana. And you know, they have their everything. They have their happy dancing kind of grifters, you know. They have their angry spitting ones, you know. They have your ones that get all up in your face and try to give it to you hard, you know, whatever they're selling. You got people that are just laid backs, you know, wait for you to come to them. My point is that everybody's working their gimmick. Everybody in the world, maybe, especially at the bottom socioeconomic class-wise, and some of these poor folks in Mexico, they're way poorer than some of the poorest people in the U.S., unless you're like on an Indian reservation or, you know, or some of the top lower trailer parks, you know, and barrios, the ghettos, even like Rego Park in the old days with the Jewish neighborhood, you know, and Jewish neighborhood in like New York City, stuff like that, you know. Everybody's running the same kind of gimmicks to make money in very different ways. The top less than 0.2% of people, they're running the same kind of things, you know. They're running the same kind of gimmicks. Don't you care about the sad animals with, you know, Sarah McLachlan videos? Don't you care about Greta Thunberg? She's, you know, got a diagnosis, or the people with the mental and physical disabilities? Don't you care about the ones that are perfectly quote-unquote normal or handsome and good-looking, but it's in, you know, invisible, their disabilities, you know? Don't you care about the people selling their culture at the top, and don't you want to pay Disney to see their new culture video, you know, culture movie they're selling or something, you know? Don't you want to, you know, be fond of the people that are running their scams when they're police officers and law enforcement officers, you know? I'd rather them scamming $20 out of me than shooting people, but hey, you know, I'd rather them doing that than being at the border working the gimmick that way, you know? Hell, the big boss man was a corrections officer. That was a wrestling gimmick. So I guess getting that $20 kind of getting scammed out of us was like, okay, the big boss man, he's working his gimmick, isn't he? I think that's what this short story is going to be called, working your gimmick. This short story is going to be new. I haven't written in many months, actually, anything relevant. It's going to go in my anthology of like 16 other short stories, but I wanted to have something new, and I wanted it to be something in a new direction. This is going to have Adrian as the main character rather than me, but all the same shit's going to happen to Adrian as it did to me, from the backache to the blood coughing up to the big boss man working the gimmick to the, you know, just all of it, you know, the hurting and everything. And the sister's a much more a bigger character in more ways than literal and figurative in some ways. I'll put that in there and say, yeah, I can make fat shaming jokes about her, you know. She can make a legitimate jokes about me too. Don't nobody want to hire me for shit, you know. I gotta understand how to work my gimmick better. I think it's one of the issues I have right now. And I think that's why I got offered the job to be the house supervisor for the disabled people. I know how to work that gimmick very well. That's probably why that interview went much, much better. I need to interview for more things like that because that's a gimmick I think I already know how to work, you know. The moment you get mad at Brock Lesnar, or you get all like, I don't like wrestling, but I like that Stone Cold guy or something like that, they're working their gimmick on you. Even though all of you watching this know it's fake, they're working their gimmick on you. It's fake, sure, the gimmick, maybe, but the hazards are real. That's an ad the WWF runs. Don't try this at home, you know? Okay, don't try to be a wrestler at home. Don't jump off of garages. I've done it. Are we out of time?
No. Well, you're at 6 minutes.
Okay, that's actually not too bad. But, don't try this at home. Don't try to be a professional wrestler unless you're trained. But also don't try to work gimmicks that aren't really yours like that. You know, you're not going to do well, not without some serious training. And I think that's what I don't like sometimes about my own demographic and even just America with the allyship and the, I'm all woke and stuff. Are you trying to work gimmicks for people that you're not even part of? Or are you trying to work gimmicks for people that you are part of, but that you don't even really understand yourself all that much? And, and it's not just, lighter skinned, rich or Hispanic people that I'm talking about, or people with, not clear and present, obvious, constant disability diagnosis. My question is you got to understand your gimmick even more and better, in order to work it more properly. Maybe that's why Adrian was able to make more money than me. That and, she's nicer. Well, deep down, she's the Wicked Witch of the West Side. But, it's just that's the Adrian I grew up in. But she knows how to work the gimmick, maybe, of just, being the happy-go-lucky, jolly Hispanic girl that, everybody likes, I tend to work the gimmick of being the eclectic wallflower that nobody can understand, at least, not fully or even more closer to fully, if that's even possible. See, that was me kind of working the gimmick at that point in time, just wording it in that way. I've done it so many times. Working the gimmick. That's what this video is going to be called. I don't know if I'll put it up on social media or not yet, but maybe I'll put it up on YouTube. Until next time, I'm going to get this short story off the ground, starring Adrian and going to Tijuana with all these horrible things that happened to me. Maybe with a different, better, more interesting ending. Something with a little more conflict, maybe something with some more romance in it. Adrian would like that. And I think most of you all would too, as readers, Probably be a little bit more telenovela-esque, Mexican Dracula taking some woman and we think it is very sexual. No, it is not. Alright, so I think this will be it. It's under 10 minutes, right? So
yeah, 8 minutes.
Okay, we're good here. So, alright, 8-minute YouTube video. Not